Hey, precious hearts, this is Coach Lean. Thank you for joining me in virtual therapy, and it is a blessing to be able to enter into your personal space. Today, we are still in the Greatest Self-Taught Part 3 edition, and we are on day 53, and it's titled Learning to Rest in the Fruit of My Faith. For those of you that are following along with me via ebook or your hard copy. For most of my life, I thought rest was something you earned after the work was done. I didn't realize that rest is also part of the work. Healing taught me that faith doesn't just build, it breathes. It's not all movement and striving, it's also stillness and trust. There's a sacred peace that comes when you finally stop forcing what God has already finished. There's beauty in learning to sit in what you've prayed for, to stop reaching for what's next and start rejoicing in what's now. Resting in the fruit of your faith means learning to live in gratitude for the things that once lived only in your prayers. I used to rush from one breakthrough to the next assignment, one answered prayer to the next battle, always preparing for what could go wrong instead of celebrating what went right. I didn't know how to rest because I thought rest meant stopping. But true rest is not the absence of activity. It's the absence of anxiety. It's being able to move without striving, to work without worrying, to breathe without burden. God didn't call us to live a life of burnout disguised as devotion. He called us to peace, and peace isn't passive, it's powerful. It's what allows you to live sustained and not scattered. As I began learning to rest in the fruit of my faith, I realized how often I've been living like God hadn't already answered me. I prayed for provision and then stress over bills. I prayed for peace and then invited chaos into my schedule. I prayed for direction and then questioned every step. It wasn't a lack of belief. It was a lack of rest. Faith doesn't just speak, it settles into it. When you trust that God's promises are yes and amen, you stop pacing and start planting. You stop striving to make things happen and start aligning with what's already unfolding. That's where the fruit grows, in trust and not tension. Rest also required me to define success. I thought progress meant constant productivity, more doing, more serving, more proving. But rest taught me that fruitfulness doesn't come from exhaustion. It comes from abiding. Just like a tree doesn't strain to bear fruit, neither should we. Our only responsibility is to stay rooted in prayer, in purpose, in peace. God does the growing. My rest became an act of reverence. I realized that sitting in stillness after obedience is not quitting. It's honoring what's already blossomed. I began to see that rest wasn't me giving up. It was me giving God room. If you're listening to me or reading along with me, I want you to pause and look around your life. There are answered prayers all around you. I said there are answered prayers all around you. Things you once asked for are now part of your daily reality. You may not be where you want to be, but you are standing in the places you once couldn't imagine. Breathe that in. That's fruit. That's progress. That's evidence that faith works. Don't rush past it looking for more. Learn to rest in it. Rest doesn't mean you'll stop believing. It means you have started trusting. Let your spirit settle into peace. You don't have to push for what's already planted. Sit in the garden you prayed for and let the fruit remind you that God keeps his promises. I said, let your fruit remind you that God keeps his promises. Don't let the enemy steal what God has already given unto you. Yes, there is more. Yes, there is more growing. Yes, there is more developing. You prayed for the family, and God blessed you with it. You prayed for a certain type of place to be able to live. God blessed you with it. You prayed for a certain level in the career field, and God have blessed you with it. You pray for understanding people. You pray for community, and God has blessed you with it. Don't keep trying to plant and not enjoy what God has blessed you with. Don't let anybody steal the joy and the rest of your fruit. Please, I beg you, you must decide that you're going to calm yourself down and enjoy where you are. Yes, you may want to be married. Yes, you may want a certain job. Yes, you may want children. Yes, you may want a certain amount of money in your bank account. You may want different things. But let's learn to be grateful for what God has pulled us out. You was once in an abusive relationship, and that's not your story anymore. You was once in jail or prison, or going to jail or prison, and God blessed you to not be there. We got to show God gratefulness and gratitude, and also show that by embracing where we are right now. We was once about to lose our mind, but we're able now to maintain it and sustain it because we're doing inner work. All of those things are worthy to be praised because that is fruit of things that you have prayed for. I pray that this video helps you and for you to understand that God has answered a lot of things that you have asked for. Choose to be grateful as you wait on the other things that you are believing him for. I'm a little under the weather right now, so thank you for bearing with me. But I want you to know, as always, you don't have to suffer alone. Please purchase a Christmas is coming up. Bless somebody with one of the greatest self-talks, 30-day, 90-day, 60-day journal entry. Bless somebody, because we don't want to keep seeing people suffer when they don't have to, and running from conversations that they need to have, because we can never heal if we refuse to feel, to reveal, to deal, so that we may heal. I'm Coach Ling, and thank you for the opportunity of being able to enter into your personal space. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.